great to have you with us again. So I've come today for another storytelling, and I've got my friend with me here, my dear friend, Granny G. Hello everybody, it's lovely to be here today and tell you some of the stories I know. Yeah, it's great. Granny G is a great storyteller. So, Granny G, what story are you going to tell us today? Oh, well, this is a very, very old story. It's one that my mother taught to me. Is it indeed? Goodness me, that must be a story from a long time ago. Oh, yes, and I think her mother taught it to her too. Oh, I see. Where is this story from? Oh, well, you will find it at the end of your Bible. If you've got a Bible, yes, it's from the book at the very end. At the very end of the Bible. What's that book called then? At the very end of the Bible. Oh, it's a very long name. It's called the Book of Revelation. Revelation? That's a funny name. What does revelation mean? It means something being revealed. Oh, okay. So it will help us to understand things. Oh, yes, it will indeed. So is this after Jesus came to live with us on earth? Oh, yes. Is it after Jesus died on the cross for us? Oh, yes. And even later than that? Oh, yes. This was after Jesus went up to heaven again. And this was one of his disciples who was called John. Oh, okay. So this is a book that he wrote. It is indeed. You see, at the end of his life, he had a big vision. A vision? What's a vision? It was a message sent by God in pictures, and it told him about how things would be. How things would be? When? Oh, when the work of Jesus was complete. Complete? What do you mean complete? Well, you know the story that you had at the beginning of our stories? What, the story about when all things were made and they were perfect? Oh, yes, dearie, that one. Yes, and then there was another story about how it all went wrong. Oh, yes, dearie, that was very sad, wasn't it, when it all went wrong? And, oh, what else do we have in our stories? We had the story about when Jesus told the storm to stop, and it did. Oh, yes, that was a great story. Oh, and, well, we're going to tell a story today, aren't we? Yes, we are indeed. So, John had a vision, and this vision told him about what God was planning. Through the work of Jesus, everything would become new. New? What, like back to how it was at the beginning of the story? Oh, yes, dearie. Yes, and isn't that good news? You see, John saw pictures. He saw a picture of a new heaven and a new earth, and everything would be made new. What, even the garden? Oh, yes, dearie. There's a garden in the end of the book, and it has a river running through it, and a beautiful tree called the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life? Is that like the one that we heard about in the first story? It is indeed, dearie. Oh, you have got a good memory. I have, and I thank you because you've made that make sense now. So the book starts with God making everything, and then it ends with God making everything new. Oh, it does, dearie. And that is the good news. God will make all things new, even when it feels like we're going through a rough time at the moment. Oh, yes, yes, but we can trust in God because God has a plan. God has a plan for all creation and all people. All will be made new. Oh, wow. That is such a good way for our stories to finish. Thank you, Granny G. That's been really helpful. Well, children, I hope you've enjoyed the journey we've had this summer. Oh, yes! What fun! I hope you've been making those bird feeders as well. Oh, yes, they looked good fun, didn't they? And so, we will hope to see you for some more stories on another day. But for now, enjoy the rest of your holidays, won't you? And enjoy doing your crafts and thinking about the story that we've had today, especially about the new heaven and the new earth. Oh, have a lovely, lovely wee holiday, all of you. And thank you for joining us today. Bye. Bye.